The next moment unfolds inside a ruined residential block on the approaches to Pokrovsk. A Ukrainian drone patrol flies low along the street, skimming broken pavement and collapsed walls. Near a shattered house, a Russian soldier stands motionless beside a damaged fence, hoping to avoid attention. As the drone closes in, he suddenly moves, slipping through the fence line and breaking into a run. The drone follows from above. In desperation, the soldier turns and throws the object in his hand toward the approaching aircraft. The attempt fails. The drone maintains its course as pressure builds and escape options disappear. Two Russian soldiers guide a wounded comrade into the basement of a destroyed house. An FPV drone from the UA Strike Drones company follows their movement from above. Moments later, the drone moves in and carries out an operation on the structure, causing part of the basement area to collapse and trapping those inside. The next situation unfolds near a forest edge toward Kupiansk. A Ukrainian drone moves in at speed, closing on a Russian soldier resting beneath a tree and using the shade as temporary cover. Only when the aircraft is nearly overhead does the soldier look up and recognize the danger. By then, the distance has already closed, and the drone moves in to carry out its operation. Not far away, near an abandoned warehouse, a second drone accelerates toward another soldier standing beside a disabled vehicle. As the drone approaches, the soldier breaks into a run and throws the cup of water in his hand toward the aircraft in a reflexive moment of panic. The sequence highlights how brief pauses and routine movement can quickly become vulnerabilities under constant aerial surveillance. Ukrainian FPV drones carried out an ambush on Russian soldiers. Troops patrolling the front line failed to notice the drones positioned motionless on the ground beforehand. When the unexpected drone activity began, the soldiers struggled to respond effectively. Looking more closely at the incidents shown, Russian soldiers are often seen moving alone. This can happen when they lose contact with their teammates or become separated from their positions. Soldiers moving across a front line that stretches for thousands of kilometers face significant risks, especially under constant aerial surveillance from drones. In the following footage, deep within a forest in the Lyman direction, a Russian pickup truck carrying several soldiers was detected. They attempted to move quietly between the trees, hoping to pass unnoticed, but their movement was eventually identified by aerial observation. After that, operations continued against Russian infantry in this forest. Pilots from the Signum Battalion detected Russian soldiers one after another as they attempted to move through the forest and reach their destination. However, those who appeared in the drone's frame were unable to continue their movement. One notable moment shows a Russian soldier crouching beside a tree, sitting on his knees. Perhaps he believed that remaining still might prevent the drone from approaching his position. A Ukrainian FPV drone pilot has a Russian military vehicle in view. The Russian soldiers notice the drone and quickly exit the vehicle, moving away from the area. The FPV drone pilot then redirects focus to disable the vehicle itself. Multiple vehicles were similarly neutralized using drones. The FPV drone's next target is a Russian military UAZ vehicle. As the soldiers approach, they immediately leave the vehicle and retreat. Ukrainian operators use drones to engage several vehicles with precision. Each strike is carefully executed, leaving the enemy unable to recover their losses. This demonstrates the significant impact of drones on modern battlefield operations. A Ukrainian drone pilot targeted a Russian military vehicle on a logistics route. Although the soldiers quickly exited the vehicle, the primary objective remained to neutralize the transport asset. Moments later, the drone struck with precision, rendering the truck inoperable. This incident unfolded differently. Two Russian soldiers were moving through ruins in the Donetsk region. They continued walking for some time while carrying a bag together. Eventually, they decided to stop. One of the soldiers crouched down and remained in that position. During this time, an FPV drone was directed toward the location. The other soldier left the man on the ground and moved away from the area. When the drone arrived at the site, the Russian soldier was still crouching on the ground, remaining motionless as the drone moved in and completed its operation. Next in the video, a selection of footage features the pilots of the Apache unit. Using FPV drones, primarily fiber optic, they engage Russian positions in the Zaporizhia direction. Even the inflatable boats that Russian soldiers abandoned after landing on the shore were targeted, removing their means of transport for return. For those who manage to reach the shore, movement becomes closely monitored. Occupying forces attempt to hide in shelters or among bushes and trees. However, such locations often provide little cover. Ukrainian FPV drones track their positions, highlighting the constant risk of exposure and the operational challenges faced when operating in hostile territory. This time, the Ukrainian 414th Birds of Magyar unit detected Russian soldiers in the Donetsk and Zaporizhia regions and monitored the area using numerous drones. Russian soldiers struggling to advance on the front line due to difficult winter conditions were closely observed. The wandering movements of these soldiers suggest challenges in maintaining cohesion and discipline within their units. Limited training and situational confusion made their movements easier to monitor from the air. As the drones continued to observe, operators carefully tracked the soldiers' positions and movements from above. The aerial perspective allowed them to follow every step across snow-covered terrain and open fields. Some soldiers attempted to move between damaged structures and small tree lines for cover, but their positions remained visible from the air. The drones maintained constant surveillance, recording the situation and transmitting real-time information to operators. This type of monitoring demonstrates how drones have become an essential tool for observing frontline activity and tracking troop movements during the conflict. Many Russian drones have been lost in the fighting. Ukrainian operators, using professional training and coordinated tactics, have closely monitored Russian forces. Their precision and skill in operating drones have enabled effective observation of troop movements, with numerous positions carefully tracked from the air. Overall, this underscores the effectiveness of Ukrainian drone operations in providing situational awareness and maintaining oversight on the front lines. Another Russian soldier was spotted attempting to hide in abandoned areas. Realizing he was being observed, he immediately sought cover. When the FPV drone operator reached the area, the drone began scanning for his position. The soldier was hiding behind a wall when the drone suddenly appeared directly in front of him, leaving no time to react. The next situation unfolds on an open field in the Kupiansk direction. A Ukrainian FPV drone maintains constant pressure on a Russian soldier attempting to move across exposed terrain. The soldier changes direction repeatedly, zigzagging in an effort to disrupt tracking and create distance. Each time the drone closes in, it adjusts smoothly, matching the movement without rushing. The pursuit continues as the gap narrows. In a final act of desperation, the soldier throws an object toward the approaching drone, hoping to interrupt its path. The attempt fails, and the encounter concludes moments later, underscoring how sustained aerial pressure leaves few viable escape options once detection is established. After the initial engagement, 2 Russian soldiers exited the vehicle. Both were injured. One entered a nearby house, while the other returned to the vehicle, assuming the threat had ended. A second drone engagement targeted the vehicle. The drone, carrying a precision munition, positioned itself to strike the vehicle, making impact extremely difficult to survive. A Russian soldier stands still, barely turning his head as a Ukrainian drone accelerates toward him. The following footage, recorded over the past week across multiple areas of the Donetsk region, captures the final moments before contact in a series of similar encounters observed from above. According to released information, Ukraine's 414th Unmanned Aerial Systems Brigade, known as the Birds of Magyar, conducted large-scale drone operations during this period, deploying more than 100 drones in coordinated missions. These flights focused on tracking and engaging Russian soldiers moving alone across varied terrain, often far from immediate support. The footage demonstrates how quickly individual infantry become visible under persistent aerial surveillance. In several sequences, soldiers attempt to move away once detection becomes clear, changing direction or increasing speed in an effort to break contact. These attempts rarely succeed. Limited equipment, exhaustion, and the absence of effective countermeasures leave few viable options. Even in forested areas, open fields, dirt roads, or shallow concealment, drone operators maintain precise control, adjusting altitude and angle to avoid obstacles while keeping each target centered in view. From the operator's perspective, the process is methodical rather than rushed. Each movement is observed, confirmed, and followed until isolation is certain. The footage highlights a recurring tactical challenge on the modern battlefield. Infantry operating without layered air defense, electronic protection, or coordinated cover face constant exposure. Under continuous aerial observation, the margin for error narrows to seconds, and individual movement becomes a detectable signal rather than a path to safety.